When the COVID-19 lockdown began on the 23rd of March 2020, the government asked the almost impossible task of every council in England to house all people sleeping rough by the end of the week. The Everyone In initiative involved an unprecedented level of joint working, with partners in health services, local charities such as Porchlight, the voluntary sector and housing associations to help get people off the streets and into safe accommodation, protecting some of the most vulnerable in our community and saving lives. So far, here at Tunbridge Wells Borough Council, the housing team has helped over 150 individuals or couples during the lockdown, local residents who were found sleeping rough in the borough by our outreach team or who contacted us to say they were homeless. Longer-term homes have been found for more than 100 people who found themselves in this desperate situation. Despite our best efforts, we still have around 42 single people in emergency housing. This is where the government's 4-year Next Steps accommodation programme came into play, making financial resources available to deliver long-term assets, supported move-on homes for people recovering from rough sleeping, stopping them from having to return to the streets. In considering whether to submit a funding bid to the programme for 2020-21, the Council had to work quickly with partners during July and August to put together a proposal. The Council owned 7 properties in Crescent Road, a mixture of 3 and 4-bedroomed houses. At the time, 5 were empty. We redesigned 3 of the properties as 6 self-contained, 1-bedroomed furnished accommodation units, rather than multiple occupancy housing with shared facilities, with an office space for support staff. Our bid requested that £205,000 of the renovation costs be funded through the programme, with the Council putting forward £310,000 of commercial developer contributions set aside for affordable housing. We submitted bids for the capital and revenue funding. The revenue money would provide homeless people with short-term and intermediate solutions for the rest of the year. In November, we were told by the government that both our applications had been approved. In early December, our Cabinet gave us the green light. By the following week, our planning application for change of use and renovation of the properties was submitted, and we started on detailed drawings and plans so we could find the right building contractor. By the 1st of March, planning permission had been unanimously approved. Our preferred contractor had been selected with a contract in place and work had started on site. This project to renovate 3 mid-19th century town centre properties in a conservation area was challenging. Tight deadlines due to the funding bid rules, a limited contract mobilisation period and staying within budget, all against the backdrop of COVID-19 and strict health and safety requirements. We had to identify workable and affordable solutions, adapting and changing how the properties were going to be used by the residents and the staff supporting them, had to be carefully planned to meet rigorous modern building standards. COVID-19 working rules meant that, where possible, only 1 worker could work per room, and tradespeople were tested every day before work could begin. The layouts for all the properties needed to be radically changed for use as flats. In numbers 31 and 32, old staircases were removed and new staircases installed in different locations, so the first floor flats could be accessed from a communal front door and more usable floor space created. The Council is committed to becoming carbon neutral by 2030, so the properties are all electric, with heating and hot water provided by air source heat pumps. Double glazing at the back and secondary glazing to the front have improved energy efficiency. All external walls have been insulated internally and external doors replaced with energy-efficient doors. To make sure the project was delivered on time and to budget, contract variations were strictly managed. Joint working with the contractor helped identify the most suitable and best value solutions. The housing team worked with colleagues who had furnished Dowding House, our temporary accommodation for families, and put together a list of essential furniture and household goods. Everything was costed and sourced at the best possible prices. Some furniture, like sofas and chest of drawers, came from the YMCA Furniture Warehouse, and 2 local charities kindly gave us financial donations for some of the furnishings. Look Ahead Care and Support delivers homelessness services across Kent. They will support the residents through a mix of on-site services Monday to Friday, plus a roaming concierge service overnight and at weekends. The flats will be let at a social rent to ensure they remain affordable and through non-secured tenancies, part of the funding criteria. Residents will receive support with their tenancy for up to 2 years whilst we help them find a permanent home. Here at Tunbridge Wells Borough Council, we're at a critical stage in our continuing support for rough sleepers and those at risk. Our attention must now shift to make sure that as few people as possible return to the streets following the Everyone In initiative. For us, the Crescent Road project has provided a stepping stone to end rough sleeping across Tunbridge Wells for good.